continent right now, MS Live, with your boy Mac Moulton. And today we are doing something different. We are talking about fashion on the show today. But before that, you can follow us on socials, MS24GH, hashtag MS Live. You can follow me as well, Mac_Moulton. And I have one of the finest fashion designers we have in the world or beyond Africa. And he goes by the name Hashim Samiru in the building.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, bro. How you doing?
Doing well.
Bro, I love your drip.
Thank you, thank
At
you.
least you should have brought me one of your designs for me to rap.
So right now, I don't have much. I was thinking about it, but I don't really have, even your size if I never get.
Charlie.
I could have brought it, but I didn't have. But yeah.
Okay. Hashim, everybody knows you to be a fashion designer. And right now, you also do design, graphic, and stuff like that. But let's get into it. Let's start from the top, from the beginning. Can you walk us through your journey, how it all started for you as a graphic designer?
So I'm like, picture this, right? I'm home after university. I'm like, after high school, I'm like, I don't know what to do in university yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to wait 1 year. And then during that 1 year, I was just, on the internet looking at things. And then I came across, I was watching an animated movie, Big Hero 6, one day.
Okay.
And it just dawned on me, like, actually, people did that. So I had did research to see how that was done, because I was very oblivious to it. And then when I did research, I was exposed to the whole world of design, animation, and everything. So I downloaded Photoshop. That's where the journey started.
So at the beginning, it wasn't something you were passionate about. It was out of boredom.
No, not boredom per se. I saw it and I was intrigued.
Okay.
I'm like, how does this work? But I was bored to make me enter this kind of space.
Okay.
Boredom is good sometimes. It gives you time to, think about stuff. So I'm thinking about how are they doing these things? And now I'm doing research. I'm doing MTM Midnight Bundle. I'm on the internet. I'm on YouTube. I'm learning stuff, and it's just making me. I'm just so interested in this thing that I'm finding
intrigued.
out. Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm just like every day doing something on Photoshop.
Okay.
That's where it started.
So how long did it take you to master it?
Master it. Even right now, I wouldn't say I've mastered it.
Really? With all your designs, your
I wouldn't
artworks?
say I've mastered it. I'm very comfortable in it.
Okay.
But I'm sure that people can do stuff that I still can't do. It would be easier for me to learn it, but I've not mastered it, but I'm very comfortable in it. It took about 2 to 3 years to actually be comfortable in the software.
Okay. But how were you able to get your first gig? Through
my first gig?
artwork?
Wow. So I've been, back in the day, I used to text people that you have a song coming out. Do you want
Okay, that means you're a music lover.
Yeah, that was my thing back then. Like, on my iTunes back then, we didn't have Spotify and stuff. So I would copy songs and then I'll do my own cover arts for the songs in the library. So,
can you tell us some of the songs you used to do?
Yeah, 100%. There was this album by Kid Black.
Okay.
That was really, he was Sakmono boy, so I got his album from one of the boys. And I was like, I have an idea for this. So I changed the cover art. And then I started doing it for songs that came with the Ghana motion graphic.
Okay.
I didn't like it, or the Niger this thing. So I'll change it and then put my own spin on it. Sometimes they had good cover arts, but I just wanted to put my own spin on it. So I did that for Kanye albums, Pusha T albums. A lot of albums I did that.
A lot of albums. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very crazy. So it was true that you got your first gig.
Yeah, so I keep posting concept cover art. So an album could come out and I'll be like, this is my interpretation of it. Okay. And then people will see it and then, with time they'll start asking oh, can you do a cover for my song?
Okay.
Then I started, charging it.
So I know you have done a lot of cover arts for the likes of Kiddy, Black Sherif, Kwesi Arthur, and you said Baba J.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Baba J.
Right.
How did the link up happen?
Hey, will I remember? Baba J. I think Baba J reached out to me. I don't know, weird. Baba J reached out to me that am I interested in creating? No, actually, I've remembered.
Okay.
I heard Tomboy for the first time and I was like, wow, she's really talented. So I, with my free time, I designed something for her and then she liked it. She followed me back. Or I think she was already following me. But yeah, later on, she reached out to me that she wanted to work on some cover art. So we did that. I think that was outside. Our first cover was outside. So we worked on outside and had a pop-up later that month or that year. So I called her that, can she perform? We are doing barter trade. She was like, yeah, of course, she could come and perform. So from there, we've worked on about 2, 3, 4 more other covers.
Okay. So it was barter trade.
It wasn't. I won't say butter trade, but like I genuinely liked her music.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna do it.
Okay, that's very dope. So let's get into Kwesiata.
Right.
He's one rapper I really cherishes the kind of music that he
Same.
does, what he do, the kind of music he put out. So how did it happen?
There was this Rema challenge on Twitter
Okay.
with the alien cover art, and I joined, and the post really did well. So Kwesiata saw it, and then he DM'd me that he really liked it. And then I think after a couple of, I don't remember the first cover art we did, honestly. I'm thinking it's Bajo, but I could be wrong. But what I vividly remember working on is Bajo with Joe Boy.
Okay.
But like, yeah, that's where it all started.
That means that's 2020. 2020, 2021.
Yeah,
That's very long, bro.
Yeah, yeah. We built like a strong personal relationship to that. He came to my house one day.
Okay.
Yeah, he came to buy some merch that I was selling at that time. Yeah, he's just been showing support to me. So we built like a very long-term relationship.
Okay. So with him, let's talk about the business side of it.
Right.
So with Kwesiata, he's a very huge artist,
Right.
dropping bangers.
Right.
What was the deal like?
So I don't discriminate. Like, I feel like I charge based on what I feel like the value I'm giving. So whether underground or established, I'm charging what I feel like my value is. So it's never been a hassle to work with Kwesi. I give him my rates and he pays me.
So back then, how much you used to charge?
Bro, my first cover art, I remember 50 CDs.
50 CDs?
Yeah, I think 50 CDs. I used to charge 50 CDs for some time. Went to 100, went to 300 CDs. And then as I started to feel like I'm there or like I'm doing really great work, and it started going to like 500, and then now it's way more higher than that. But
okay,
yeah, it's been increasing.
So I want us to talk about Kiddy's artwork.
Okay.
I want you to walk us through the creative process when you are creating these designs.
Yeah, so usually Nazif will reach out to me, Sniper, and then usually I'll ask for the song. He'll be reluctant. I don't know why, but he'll send the song.
Okay.
And then I'll listen to it. And then sometimes they come with ideas, sometimes they don't. So when I listen to the song, I usually collaborate with Phil. Phil is Ugly on Instagram.
Okay.
That's my bro. We've worked on all the kiddie cover arts. Okay, most of them. So when they bring the song, I send it to him sometimes, or I just tell him the idea, or this is what we are thinking. Then I run it by Kiddie's team. They will send, if they have any changes to make, they will send it. If they have anything they want to add or change, they will send it. Then we do a sketch, send it, approve. If it's approved, we add colors, send it. Sometimes they want to change outfits, they want to change colors. So yeah, but basically that's the process from conceptualization. They send me the song, think of an idea, then we deliver the final artwork.
Why do you decide to make it like with Kiddy's own? Decide to make it more cartoonish? Because it started with I Lied.
Yes.
It's time to be corrected.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I Lied, and it followed up with Liquor and the likes.
Right.
Okay.
So with illustration, yeah, you can express any idea, as opposed to like if you want to go to, now you have to get a photographer, a studio, get the artist, the time and everything. Sometimes it's long. Also, the kind of ideas you can express with animation or illustration is, you can do anything. So them bringing I Lied, the idea behind the song is like, I think the reference that I had was a very plain studio shot. So we sent the idea to them that this is what we want to do. They were like, yeah, we should go ahead with that. And then that was it. There wasn't really no back and forth for this idea. But yeah, the illustration made sense for this artwork.
Yeah. I know last 2 years he performed at the TGMA, and I saw designs for his upcoming album.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? Were you behind that design?
I think the Where Do You Go From Here was That Art God. He did those 3D animations. He performed I Lied one of the VGMAs. I don't remember which one, which had the visuals on the back there. I think
when
that's
he felt ill and he was coming back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, those visuals were shown on the screen. Yeah.
Okay, that's very dope.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the man of the moment, Black Sharif.
Black Sharif, right.
Kilos and Milos and the rest.
Right.
So how did you get the chance to work with Black Sharif?
So when, I think the first Black Sharif song I heard was Second Sermon.
Okay.
When I heard it, I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I did some artwork for it. He saw it, he followed me. And some months went by, we linked up, I sent him some hats. I met him at the Free the Youth show, pop-up. And then, that was our first meeting. But when the villain was about to drop, an agency they were working with reached out to me that they want to, make an animation for the project. So I was brought onto the team, and after the project, I kind of built a relationship with them.
Okay.
So they reached out later on after the project, and then we started working.
Okay, so that's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when working with all these A-list artists and at least promoting your artwork as well,
Right.
How does it make you feel?
Well, it's amazing because you get to have a personal connection with these songs. Some of the songs you really love, most of the songs I've done cover with Black Sherry, I really love. Sometimes Kiddy, Black Sherry, Kwesiata as well. I really love the song. So sometimes you go outside, you hear the song, you get this feeling that na me do.
Okay.
You understand? But yeah, it's beautiful.
And have you worked with Kim Promise as well?
No, the only work I've done with Kim Promise was with the Kwesiata song, Real Thing.
Okay, Real Thing.
Yeah,
okay.
so that was
Apart from that one.
Apart from that, no, I haven't done work with.
So outside Ghana, which artists? I know right now you are into fashion design.
Yeah.
But I want us to focus.
We
on
are very
art.
much still, doing the designs for sure.
Okay. So let's talk about the artwork. Which artists outside Ghana do you love to work with?
Would I love to work with? A$AP Rocky for sure.
A$AP Rocky. Why
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky?
You've seen the
I
stuff
know, I know. Yeah.
I've been a fan of A$AP Rocky for the longest time, and he is somebody who really puts, effort into his visuals. And as a designer, you really want somebody like that because going into a project, you want to build something, concrete that would stand the test of time. So I gravitate towards artists that, do that already. So that when you are going to do something like that, they understand what kind of work it takes or how important it is. So like A$AP Rocky, for sure, Tyler the Creator,
Yeah.
Rema.
Rema too is a crazy guy.
Yeah,
when it
you
comes to
understand. So
artwork.
like, I'd really like to, explore what we can create.
What
together.
about Victoni?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Bro. There's a lot of people that it would be, interesting or exciting to work with because I love their songs, especially Victoni. The new songs, I've been jamming them for a while. So yeah, Shake would be. It's not just international that I want to work with. There's some people that in Africa here that I really like to work with.
That's very dope. That's very dope. Let's talk about how people perceive designers or people who are into graphic design. Do you guys get let me say, the much respect that you guys need when it comes to this space as a designer or as someone who does artwork?
The short answer will be no, because most of them don't know what goes into it. Like, especially when you're coming up and you don't have like a name for yourself or you don't have like a crazy portfolio, people will look down on you because they feel like they are giving you the opportunity, which can be true, but like you're also giving them something in return. It's never a one-way street. But it's really tough, especially when you're coming up. The respect is not there. The payment delays. Sometimes they are not even minding you. So
share with us the experience when it comes to delay of payments.
Usually, I don't know how it is in other countries, but here you're working with somebody and they want you to finish before they pay you, which is wrong on so many levels because I've put in the work, my time, probable gigs that I could have done. I've not done them because I was doing yours. And they want to pay after you're done. Some of them too might never release a song, so that means you don't get paid.
But it doesn't work that way. As far as there's an agreement, you need to
Exactly.
pay
Some
me.
of them don't want to pay at all because they feel like they are giving you the opportunity. So yeah, it's really tough, especially when you're starting out in this country. So I feel like the understanding should be mutual. I should understand that, okay, if communication is right, honestly, I would not mind it. But people really don't communicate. They'll just leave everything and then wait for you to, I don't know, reach out or call them out before they even do anything.
So based on your experience, why don't you have any form of written agreement with them?
Oh, so usually we do have written agreements, unless it's like on a personal relationship level. But even with that said, we have, contracts down, we have invoices that we can track back. But as a beginner, you don't know these things.
Okay.
Nobody tells you these things. So you go inside and people, they take the artwork, they don't even, they do put it on merch that if you've not agreed to do. So, sometimes as a beginner designer, you don't know that you have to put it in writing. You sometimes learn it the hard way.
But at times, do you report them? Do you get your lawyers involved?
Honestly, no, not yet. I haven't done that. I hope I don't have to do that. Because honestly, sometimes you love the music, and you love the artist, so you don't want it to get to a point where you have to do all these things. Also, that would be very long and expensive. So just try to avoid scenarios like that. Sometimes you take give God and move on.
Okay, okay. But I think we need to find a way to that. So will you say that has been the lowest moment for you?
I wouldn't say the lowest, but it's one of them. Like
Okay.
not getting paid because that's your job.
Yeah.
You have bills to pay, you have lights to buy, you have water to drink, food to eat. So when they start toying with you, it gets really frustrating.
Okay. So which of your designs have taken much of your time that it was very hard for you to execute it?
Oh wow. Most of the execution is not really hard. It's more so conceptualization.
Okay.
Like what am I going to do? Sometimes the idea is just not coming. You listen to the song so many times, you're not getting the idea, and sometimes it's frustrating. But with execution, sometimes it's just frustrating. The early stages of the artwork can be frustrating because you can't see the vision yet. But it's a thing you pass through. Like no matter what skill level it is, you go through that.
That means you experience creative block.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and
for sure.
Like your head is blank.
Yeah, like sometimes life is lifing,
Okay.
and things are going on. So the creativity is not coming. So yeah, it happens. You just have to force yourself to bring it out sometimes because nobody's waiting for you.
Okay. So how do you handle the pressure from your customers or people who really work with you, especially when you are going through that, and maybe they need the work ASAP?
So for me, what I've learned is that nobody really, you can't tell your client that I have creative block.
Yeah.
So I think doing commissions has taught me is that no matter what, you keep going. Because they have deadlines, especially for music. They want to put it on DSPs 2 to 3 weeks before release date, and you just have to tough it out. Sometimes ask friends for help, sometimes just disconnect, watch a movie, play some games so that you can just get the creative juices flowing.
So you get motivated.
Exactly.
To do it.
You just so that you can just get back to work.
Okay. I want us to get into. You said you were doing merch for some artists.
Yeah.
And I want us to get into it. Which of some of the artists you were doing merch for?
We did. Most of them never came out. I don't know why, but we've done.
Have you find out like what was the reason?
Usually they're just abandoned projects. Sometimes they just don't follow through, and I get it. Sometimes you have an idea, but it's not making sense for the timeline, so you just shelve it.
Okay.
But yeah, we did Liquor merch for Kiddy. I don't think it came out. We did Redemption Valley. Not Redemption Valley. Son of Jacob merch too. Never came out. Also did The Villain I Never Was merch. Also never came out. So it's like it happens. We are not really a country where we patronize merch. Yeah. So I understand that.
And these are our top artists.
Yeah, these are like our biggest.
Came out, bro.
You see, but yeah, I feel like we'll get there soon enough.
Yeah, for real. For merch business in Ghana, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not grown at all. It's not developed one bit.
Okay. So as a designer, what do you think is the way so we can evolve and make it better?
I think it's more so the consumers as well. Just opening, ourselves up to like new things. Like we like to be stuck in our ways, honestly, as Africans. I can't lie. I also do that, but just understanding. Because if I'm a fan of an artist, I want to own something. I might not be able to buy a vinyl.
Okay.
Merch is the way, So I think if the audiences open themselves enough to receiving these things, we'll be eager enough to give it to them.
Okay. You told me earlier on one of the designers you draw inspiration from is Virgil Abloh.
Right.
May so rest in peace.
So rest in
What
peace.
makes Virgil stand out for you?
Virgil did everything, bro. From fashion to cover art. Bro designed a plane. He did a car.
Air Drake.
He did furniture. So like, looking at somebody do everything it's like boundless.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Virgil. I'm like, wow, that's incredible. I can do that too as well because
real.
he's also Ghanaian.
Yeah.
So it's like very close to home, and you know that if Virgil can do it for sure, I can do it too.
Nice. Bro, I'm just having a great conversation with my brother Hashim Samiru. He's a fashion designer, and we are getting to know him up close and personal. Guys, let's take a breather. I'll be back in a bit. Bye.